Jerit Roser for the Times-Picayune&apos here with Eddie Bonine, who's just introduced finally as the new executive director of the LHSAA. And how'd you feel about your first meeting with the media and just some of the questions that were posed to you and to get it all officially out there?
I thought it was very positive. Those are questions that I anticipated. I've spoken to you before, so I kind of knew where this was going to go. But like I said in the interview, I'm not ready to make decisions on some of these items yet, and hopefully you respect that, because I got to get information, and I'm going to build with data, build with information, and what we do, whatever we decide to do, how it works out, everybody will know about it. We'll get it out there, but I think it's got to be something that we really think through the process. And I mentioned you before, I'm not going to push something through. We need to move something forward, and I think that's going to be the philosophy we're going to take right now.
Obviously, a lot of questions for you today. What, moving forward, are the biggest questions that you're hoping to kind of get answers to as you start that process of sponging information in?
Well, without doing any written or reading research, we're going to find out why we ended up where we are in regards to the split championships. What was the genesis of that? How many schools was the reason for that? Did anybody go out and talk to those institutions? I mentioned before, institutional integrity, and talk to those people, find out what's going on. And I truly believe that somewhere down the line, someone's going to tell me, Eddie, we need to change the way the classifications are and make it look different, or we need to do what we have, remold it, and establish certain schools are going to play. That's all stuff that I've been through. In fact, we're going through that same realignment process where I'm coming from. So it's just a matter of getting that information, a lot of fact-finding, a lot of information gathering for me, and then yielding to other individuals like yourself and our committee as well that have been here for a long time and seen what the problems are, the issues are, and addressing them head-on and getting that piece taken care of.
That whole select non-select deal obviously looms large for everyone in the state. When we talked the other day, we referenced your background to some degree with that, and you mentioned it again today, because people had only had a chance to hear little bits of your experience with it. But tell folks a little bit about your background with the public-private school dynamic.
In Nevada, we have approximately 21, 22 private schools. And we only have 2 private schools in our state, one in the north in Reno area, Washoe County, one in the south, Clark County, Bishop Gorman, that are the 2 largest schools by student population that are parochial schools or private schools in that in the largest classification 4A, which we now call Division I. So when we go to realign, it boils down to all the schools in Clark County, which is the Las Vegas area. We have 30-some plus schools of over 2,500 kids in Clark County alone. So when we take a look at it, we've established the fact that there are schools that have 3,000 students that can't compete with schools that have 800. Right. So we've done the competitive balance look at. We have what we call a rubric that we looked at, which is similar to your power ranking. Right. Wins, losses, wins in district, wins in regionals, wins in state, that kind of stuff, championships, working that all together. We have a 4-year realignment. So anytime we put anything in order with this for 4 years, we've now modified that to every 2 years, and we're able to move teams or move schools up and down. The bone of contention always comes in. Football is the biggest sport in that school. Why should that football team? Everybody should come. Right. Okay? Maybe that's not necessarily fair, but I know that's the philosophy of some in many states, not just in Nevada or Louisiana. And then there's other situations where you have a school who is winning championships and everything, but by population they should probably play up. And there's a process in which you do that, which you're familiar with as well. Oh, yeah. So that's all. Like I said earlier, it's the same kind of thing no matter what state you go to. We all have a similar process, and it's about working through that and establishing a format that everybody can agree upon. Now, I'd be foolish to tell you everybody's going to be happy with it. Okay, but we have to do what we can do to address the majority of the student population and participants in Louisiana. And that's going to be the approach I'm going to take. But I got to visit with principals and find out, Eddie, here's the deal. I have to visit with superintendents. They should have a buy-in. But I also got to talk to coaches. All those point people are on our committee, right? So it's easy for me to get to them to talk about it. I'm planning on visiting some coaches today. So we're going to work our way through the process, and I'm hoping that at the general session at the conference that we're able to display some patience and try to move this thing forward in a reasonable time frame. If not, I'll do what we can to do it, but I'm hopeful that we'll be able to hold off and give us some time to patiently get it done.
Sure. You had a chance to see a little bit of football yesterday. You get a bunch of games in front of you today. What are your kind of initial reactions to just what you've seen from some of the teams and the competitive nature, the atmosphere, maybe the crowds coming out, any of those type of dynamics that you've taken away from the Superdome the last day?
Yes, and yes. The facility's incredible. Just had a chance. I met with the Dome manager. Just met with Mr. Smith from Allstate Sugar Bowl. The whole process is incredible. The experience for kids, these are making lifetime lifetime memories for some of these athletes. If not all of them, okay? Because not all of them, are going to have the opportunity to play at the next level. When you walk out into the floor itself, the floor of the dome, wow. The athletic ability is incredible. The fans that are showing up, and I know tonight we're expecting a large crowd, and the average has been very good from what I'm told at this point. So all of that stuff's involved. You can tell that Louisiana is passionate about football, and that's a really cool thing, because football is, as football goes, the rest of your athletics can go as well. So far, very impressive. Everybody here, every employee here has been gracious. It's been a good experience, really has. First impressions only once, right? Well, right now, you all hit it out of the ballpark.
You mentioned when we talked earlier this week, and I know you've mentioned a bunch. You mentioned it today. Your wife, Christine, right down the road, Mount Carmel alumna, and you have other family that's still in the New Orleans area. What is your just sense of what to expect from moving to Louisiana and some of the different dynamics that you'll move into after spending much of your life in the Southwest?
Excuse me. The biggest obstacle we have is selling a home. When that sells, getting down here, purchasing a home, establishing our residence, and moving forward. The cultural piece, the traditional piece, that's a piece of cake, because my children have been indoctrinated to it. It's what we do. We're okay with that. So the only thing we're going to notice from where we're coming from is this morning I think it was 20 degrees in Reno, and here it's going to be warmer out, but the humidity, come on, it's the South. We're okay. So we're looking forward to the transition. There's no negatives at this particular juncture. Really concerned about our children, because at that age, they're ready to come down here. They're ready to make the move. They're both athletes. They'll get in the right group, and they'll participate in sports here as well.
I think people here think it's cold today. Here, they don't really know about the rest of the country a little bit, but
that's okay when you're down here all this time. It's a little damp, a little damp and cold. But no, it was cold this morning. There's no frost on the pumpkin here, and I guarantee there was some back home.
There you go. Again, Eddie Bonine, the new LHSAA Executive Director. Jerit Roser, Times-Picayune&apos.